Hi, it is iYikkam time again. So today I like to share with you the following. We all know after the April 27, 2017, traditional Chinese martial art was questioned, including Wing Chun, and this is in China. And in Taiwan also Wing Chun is questioned. So due to that, I have received many messages from our Wing Chun friends and non-Wing Chun friends, but friends who practice Chinese traditional martial arts on the following questions. And this Wing Chun friends are all around the world, in Asia and in Europe and in America and everywhere. So it's worldwide. So these three questions here is the questions I got many times in repeat. Okay. So the first question is, what is the definitions of the sticking body short strike of Wing Chun Queen? So as this is, our friend want to know what is the definitions. And the second question is, who has the authentic Wing Chun Queen? Okay. The third is, what is Wing Chun West is about? So these three questions come to me from different people, and today I want to reply once for all. And actually, for those two questions, the first and second question I have replied in the Mandarin language or the Chinese language YouTube also. And however, in this English language YouTube, I want to make it more comprehensive and much more details in it. Okay. So, who has the authentic Wing Chun Queen? As in the movie, we all usually see this, okay? And so this is Wing Chun. This is authentic, okay? This Jingzhong, authentic. So the who has the authentic Wing Chun is a questions. However, in these questions, the focal point is who. Okay, who. That's why I don't like to answer this kind of questions, because usually if you check into the history, this type of questions is actually based on money and the reputations or your fame, okay? All those personal stuff is rarely actually got to do with Wing Chun, but it is got to do with somebody want to promote. They are the promote themselves, or all kind of stuff, all kinds of this personal stuff, which is, if you look into the history, you track it, and all the quarrel, all the argument and so forth rarely have to do with the Wing Chun Queen. So for the friend who asked me who has the authentic Wing Chun Queen, my suggestion is to drop this question, because it is actually non-productive, and it is doesn't contribute to anything positive. Okay. Now, however, we need to ask a question. Really, we need to ask the question. And the question is this: what is an authentic traditional Chinese martial art? What is it? Okay. This is a very important question, because we ask this question, we want to know about the art. The art, not who. Okay, the art. The art itself and the technology itself. Okay, instead of who or those kind of stuff. Okay, which is get into personal and. But we don't want to do that. We want to know what is this? What is this authentic traditional Chinese martial art means? Okay. Now, this is what it means. Okay, when we get into the authentic traditional Chinese kung fu, this is what most people think. This whole chunk of stuff. You can have this Taoist expert, this Tao, okay, or this Tai Chi, and then there's snake and crane, and then you have the nun teaching somebody, and then you have the Taoist fighting the monk, and then the monk trained in the temple, and then you have those guys who do blindfold, okay, the blindfold people, naked blindfold people fighting, and then you have this Tai Chi expert, okay, superhero, and then you even have people flying around, okay, and that of course you have this one guy I want to fight 10 guy, okay, and then you have this naked people fighting somebody, okay? So this is what it is. If you talk about the authentic traditional Chinese kung fu, and this is what people think. So all this stuff is movies, philosophy, myth, magic. The ancient grandmaster know it all. The ancient grandmaster says this and that and that. Okay, so if today we ask, hey, what is the authentic traditional Chinese kung fu or Chinese martial art means, or people are going to tell you all this kind of stuff. Most of people is going to tell you all this stuff. Okay. So is this the stuff? No. Let's choose a standard reference of who can represent what is the authentic traditional Chinese kung fu or Chinese martial art a reference, so that everybody can base on. Okay. And the reference I want to choose is from General Guang, 1560s, okay, which is about 500 years ago, okay? So get this straight, it's about 500 years ago, okay? Now it's General Guang, and this guy, you can check into the history. He is, or there movie about him, about this General Guang, and you know that he fought the pirates, and he actually is a very capable general in China, and the most important thing is his writing in this book. Okay, and this is within the book, influence the Chinese traditional martial arts since then, since 1560s. Okay, and from this book, the today's Tai Chi was born based on this book, Tai Chi. Okay, so there's no Tai Chi Chuan before this book. Okay, and in particular, if you check into the research of Chun Tai Chi, it is based on this book. Okay, so the bottom line is we use General Guang, okay, a historic, trackable, with the track records Chinese general who lived 500 years ago to as a using as a reference for us, so that we can know what is actually authentic Chinese traditional martial art 500 years ago. Okay, so we don't have to guess. We see what it is. Okay, and by the way, this book in Chinese, in English, pinyin is this. Okay. Now, let's look at what General Qi Guang do. Okay, what he have done, what he really do. Okay, since he is the ancestor of the authentic Chinese traditional martial art, let's look at what he do when he faced the Japanese pirates. Okay, the Japanese pirate invaded the southern China, and then so what happened is the Ming Emperor sent their troops to fight the pirates, and at that time the account is 1,000 Japanese pirates can defeat 20,000 Chinese army. Okay, so that's how effective or ineffective it is. And then you have all this kung fu master and so forth participated, but still the Japanese pirate is invading that area. Okay, so finally General Qi Guang went in and straightened the whole thing up, and this is the book he wrote in around 1560 on the Chinese martial art and so forth, so that people actually based on it later. Okay, now so what does he do when he faced the Japanese pirates invasion? Okay, this is a war, man. Okay, now so the first thing General Qi Guang do is he actually analyze the Japanese sword. Okay, the weapons. He analyzed the weapon, and then he found out that they are using two knives, the long and the short. Okay, and this is quite important because in the war people get killed. Okay, and so he investigate on the weapons, and he know that often that the Chinese soldier fought them, and then while fought them, they get a stick or cut by the shorter sword. Okay, so he went there and he investigate his enemy's weapons, and after that he created his weapon here. Okay, so his weapon, this is his weapon. So this weapon never exists before him. Okay, so he created, and actually here you can see that this is the Japanese samurai sword. Okay, so this is his invention. Okay, based on the samurai sword, based on the Chinese, the Chinese weapon before that. Okay, so he invented that. Okay, now he go as far as, if you see, this is the cross sections of the sword. Okay, he go as details as that to design how the cross sections is needed, so that it support his art and his strategy to against the Japanese pirate. Okay, so that's how details get to. And then he get to the details of production, what type of material to make the sword, okay? Because at that time, Japanese sword is very high quality, okay? So Japanese sword is very high quality, and the Chinese weapon like the spear and so forth, the wooden spear and so forth, breaks, okay? And they're saying that one strike of the Japanese sword can break a few spear pole, okay? And Chinese weapon breaks because of the good quality of the sword. So General Qi Ji Guang go down there. In today's term, if we look at that, you look at what he's doing is a scientific problem solving. Okay? He look at the weapon. Now, what else you look at? Okay, so what else you look at? He took a copy of the Japanese samurai sword training, analyze it, okay, design a counter of these techniques, make his own. This is for his own army. He do revolutions on this sword. His sword, actually, his sword is now actually based on the ancient Chinese sword play or sword technology using of the sword knife before his time. Now it has combined with the Japanese sword technology or science, okay? So he make the revolutions, and in the same time he developed his martial art training for his army, which is a accord with the sword training and for arm-to-arm combat. So in today's world, it is a scientific and systematic innovative design solution. He have that solution, okay? Now, what else he do? Okay, so he designed something like this, a new weapon, okay, a new weapon. This is the samurai sword, this is the weapon, and you see that this guy is actually using a spear. This is using a spear, and this guy is using this a very wild, different type of a weapon. Okay? Now, how did he come up with this thing? Of course, he analyzed it. Samurai sword versus the Chinese spear. Okay? He analyzed it and see what is the angle and all those kind of stuff. It's scientific stuff, mechanical stuff, okay? And of course he analyzed it too. The reason why he make this is a samurai sword. He want to find out how actually this weapon be able to cause the samurai sword user disadvantage. So that is scientific testing. Okay, he did that because people die there. Okay, and as we have mentioned just now, the record there is 20,000 Ming Dynasty army. 20,000 cannot defeat 1,000 Japanese pirate. Just cannot handle it. Okay, so if you look at that, you know that is the quality of it, and so General Qi Ji Guang is do this kind of stuff. Okay, now, so what else he do? Okay, this is the Japanese the Japanese way of attack. Okay, his strategy, his team attack. Okay, you see that? This is called the butterfly type of butterfly type of strategy. And Qi Ji Guang, based on the analysis of the Japanese weapon, the fighting capability, the everything, the pro and cons, as we see this thing. This is the weapon just now I show you in the testing. It have its Peking duck, this is called Peking duck strategy. Okay, and to be exact, you see how it is. This is how organized of the thing, and this is this is the weapon. And then you see there's a spear here. You always have this, and you always have the spear. And then this is how this is the what do you call it, the enemy. This is the enemy here. So this is how it goes, and how it go wave by wave, and so forth. Okay, so this is what he do. And as you see that here, they always have a spear. Okay, let me show you here. Always have a spear. Okay, explode that, zoom that. You see that there's a spear, and then you see that this is that kind of weird type of a thing, the weapon. So if you see this, this is the weird type of weapon, and this is a spear. So this guy trapped the samurai sword because he know that it caused the samurai sword user trouble here in terms of timing, momentum, so forth. So he just spear him. So instead of, the Chinese always lost when they use this spear as the old Ming Dynasty army or sword, because the Chinese sword is a sworder. Okay, so that is what General Qi Ji Guang do. That's what General Qi Ji Guang do. Okay, from the weapon, the material, the way how people fight, training, and analyze all this stuff, the weapon, the pro and cons, come up with a team strategy, and so forth. Okay, so if we ask, but today's we ask the question, what is the authentic Chinese traditional martial art based on General Qi Ji Guang at 1560? What we know today is a constant evolving systematic and scientific technology. It's nothing like a, you never see this. Okay, you don't see this spiritual and all this kind of stuff, and all this Tao and this Qi and all this stuff. You don't see that. Okay, so what exactly it is it is a constant evolving and a scientific and systematic and scientific technology developing and usage. So in today's language, General Qi Ji Guang can be a CEO in the Silicon Valley. Okay, that's what he do. He go looking into the market. Okay, what kind of product is needed, and the competitors' pattern, how to break it, train his design team, develop his production team, look for quality control, and so forth, so forth. That's what this guy is doing. Okay, so this is quote unquote authentic, the standard of authentic traditional Chinese martial art grandmaster. Okay, so he's look like a CEO in the Silicon Valley, in the startup company who success. Okay, so that is what reality is. scientific and systematic. Even though at that time they don't have the term scientific, but you see what they are doing there. Okay, you see what General Qi Ji Guang is doing there, and the result, as what I said, is like the CEO of the Silicon Valley high tech company. The result is Qi Ji Guang reached that he can use, in a warfare. He killed. Okay. So the Japanese team, the Japanese pirate, have a 1,000 casualty. He only lost less than 10 people. So this is 1%, less than 1% casualty. Okay, so he fought the Japanese pirate. He just killed the 1,000 Japanese pirate, and he lost, according to history, less than 10 people. Okay, so as we see this in today's high-tech productivity, quality control, and how effective is the technology running, the Japanese can defeat 1,000 Japanese pirate can defeat 20,000 the Ming Dynasty army, and now Qi Ji Guang with less than 10 casualty can cause 1,000 person casualty of the Japanese pirate. So his efficiency and effectiveness is very high, higher than the Japanese. Okay. So if you look at in terms of production, repeatable and production wise, this is what it is: constant evolving, systematic and scientific technology. Who is going to say that nothing changed? Okay. In fact, if you see from here, this is Japanese sword. This is his sword. Okay. This is his sword. He look at the Japanese sword. He used the Chinese sword and so forth. He designed his sword for better weapon, and then he asked for the cross sections of his sword so that he be able to do more chopping and those kind of stuff. And he specified different type of material because at that time Japanese sword is high quality. So if this is not scientific technology, what is it? It doesn't have this type of stuff. It doesn't have this type of stuff. Okay. So in reality, okay, based on General Qi Ji Guang, who is a real person, okay, real person in the Chinese history, and the real person which is like the Chun is based on, and so forth. And after him, many martial art is based on. The authentic Chinese martial art, the authentic traditional Chinese martial arts, it looked more like a systematic and scientific technology development and production in Silicon Valley. Okay, then all the like in the movie. Okay, and one has to be very careful here. Okay, today's the former Chinese teaching and at the 500 years ago is very different. Okay, this is a Sun Tzu. Okay, Sun Tzu, chapter 13. So the training of the military or martial art is saying that, okay, he said knowledge cannot be elicited from spirit. Watch out, spirit. Okay, it cannot be obtained inductively. Knowledge of the enemy can only be obtained from the enemy. So this is what they practice. It's like an engineer. You better don't tell me anything if you don't look at it, don't check on it, analyze it scientifically, and tell me what exactly the root cause. No guessing. Okay, no guessing. No, I think. know in my opinion. What is this is what it is. Okay, that is the way how General Qi Ji Guang is trained, and this is in the chapter 13 of the Sun Tzu. Okay, so he specifically here, okay, cannot elicit from spirit. So we need to drop those qi, jing, yi, mind power, internal, where one have no idea what it is. If you think about this kind of concept, or you have the qi concept, jing concept, yi concept, compare with 500, this is Sun Tzu, and this is General Qi Ji Guang, 500 years ago. This look like this guy in General Qi Ji Guang is living in Silicon Valley, okay, California, and this guy, God know where they are living in, okay, living in limbo or some kinds of fantasy land or what, okay, or so that's the reality of the authentic Chinese traditional martial art. We check it using General Qi Ji Guang as an example, because he is a good example, okay, a very solid example to look at what it is actually, what is the so-called authentic Chinese traditional martial arts. And also, there's no such thing as talk with hand and not talk with mouth. Okay, if General Qi Ji Guang talk with hand and not talk with mouth, he will not go through all this thing. Okay, and it will keep like before. 1,000 Japanese pirate can defeat 20,000 of your grandmaster and whatever of the Ming Dynasty army. Okay, so we need to face the reality. The reality is traditional Chinese martial arts, authentic traditional Chinese martial art is actually this thing: constant, evolving, systematic, and scientific technology. It never stops. Okay, and there are no such thing as this. There are no such thing as the ancient grandmaster know it all. The ancient grandmaster say this and that. Okay, has to be scientific, and it has to be very repeatable. Otherwise, it's like in this General Qi Ji Guang case, people died. Okay, if you cannot repeat whatever it is, you cannot just dream of how to defeat the pirates instead of going through all this kind of testing, all this kind of analysis, material science, and everything. Okay, so if we want to talk about Chinese martial art, traditional Chinese martial art, okay, for those who like entertainment, it's a different story. But for those who practice Wing Chun, better drop this thing. Okay, this is just some kinds of God know what. Okay, or heaven know what. Okay, some kind of thing which is non-exist. It's a movie. Okay. Now, from this, I like to share with you something very important, and that is something which is people don't understand because of the Chinese cultural change in the past hundreds of years. Thing change, and so this is what is very important. Okay, in Chinese martial art, military arts, and that is the soul of the traditional Chinese martial art. That is the momentum. Okay, so momentum is here. Okay, as in my book, the beginning, the basic ancient Wing Chun Queen book. So practically, momentum means this. Very simple. Momentum means like our Newton's law, more momentum and impulse. Okay? It is a science. Okay? It is a science. It's not nothing magic at all. Okay. In one way, momentum mean momentum. Okay. This 势 in Mandarin called 势. It really means the Newtonian classical physics momentum. It does. On another way, it means how to use the momentum. Okay. So for example, this is a very typical Chinese explanation how to of the 势 or momentum. Say I want to move a round rock from A to B. And you can have a few people, okay, lifting the rock and move it to B. And you can have one guy just pushing the rock to B. Okay? Now, so this is what the Chinese say. This is meaning brute force. This is meaning not using momentum. Okay? This is meaning using momentum. Okay? And this is actually clever way of using force. Okay? So, the definition is this clear. Okay? So when the Chinese talking about momentum, it is actually this thing, like our physics, Newtonian physics momentum, and this way of using momentum. Okay. Now, within this way of using momentum, of course, in Chinese example, there is this like our today's called the domino effect. You tip one, you let another domino tip another one. Those type of momentum. And also, if you put a rock on the hill, on top of a hill, then you roll it down. Okay, it can be really effective, and you using those type of momentum. Okay, so this is very important. This is very important. Okay, this to understand that this momentum is very important because this is the soul of the Chinese traditional martial art, because the key of the play is actually how to play this momentum instead of using this brute force, okay, or the stupid way, okay. But you want to make use of the momentum and the easy way, okay. So from here we need to know that these two things, when the Chinese talk about momentum or 势, this is these two things, okay. Now, this is very important because if we go, usually when I told people about this, they say, well, I cannot see this in Sun Zhi, I cannot see this in this and that, and like in this book, this General Qi Guang's writing here, 绩效新书, okay, 千金节要篇, okay, in here, all of those things talk about momentum, but the author have no clue what it is, okay. So here, this is Sun Zhi, chapter 6, which is 5th century BC, okay. This is talk about momentum. This is 势. If you look at this 势, okay, momentum. But over here in this writing, it go other way. It doesn't even mention its momentum and so forth. Also here, okay. So over here, this momentum, okay, over here you can see it. Look at it. Over here, it says that in warfare there are no constant condition. This condition is actually momentum. Okay, it's this momentum here. What it says here is actually the army or military do not fix the use of their momentum, and this is how it translates. Okay. And also over here, the position of force, avoid the substantial strike. Whereas he tried to translate this thing, but have no idea of momentum, and thus all this writing is not saying anything but distorted what is really presented by the Sun Tzu. Okay, so what does Sun Tzu say here is this? Okay, it say that water do not have a fixed shape, and thus the army, the warfare do not have a fixed momentum. It always changes, and the person who can keep change the momentum to defeat the enemy is exceptionally or magically highly master the art of handling momentum. Okay, this Shen here is not about spirit, and if you look at here, you see that spirit here. This is say heaven here. This is just saying that, okay, this is exceptionally, this person have exceptionally good skill. So in other words, the meaning that, okay, the whole deal is to play with the momentum, okay, and then accord with your enemy, you play with the momentum to defeat him. If you can do that, then you are exceptionally, or you are really, really good in playing with momentum, okay. But here you get into the spiritual, you get to the heaven. That's the problem here, because many translation today get into those new age stuff, and it really distort the thing. And like here it says spiritual, okay, this translation of this book says spiritual, this is heavenly born, and so forth. Now, if you look closely here, he said that cannot be elicited from spirits. In chapter 13, it already tell you, you want the knowledge you get from the enemy, human, okay? Don't tell me about this spiritual or heaven stuff, okay? So, this is an example of when the translator do not know what is momentum, and it create a mess. Now, so 2,000 years later, okay, this is around 5 Central BC. This is 1560. This is Qi Guang. So here again, you have this momentum, okay, and then guess what it translated to? Position, okay. What is the momentum got to do with position? And it become position here. Okay, so this is very interesting thing what you want to see here. Okay, what this say is what Qi Guang say is this: I have now select 32 momentum type, and this momentum you can use it like an alphabet to make unlimited combinations of momentum. If you can do that your enemy not be able to predict or see what you are doing, then you are really skillful. You are really a real master. You are really exceptional, like magical. You know, that's what he say here. And if you see this in General Qi Guang, he said that he select this 32 momentum type. Okay, and then you can keep changing it, and unlimited, you have unlimited change. Okay, that is according to the Sun Tzu 2,000 years ago. He said that army have no fixed momentum. The person who can keep change the momentum to defeat the army is exceptional. Okay, it is magical. Okay, the term magical is not real magic, but really good. You really master the skill. And here, the same thing. Okay? So, if you look at this, 2,000 years ago, 2,000 years later, the same thing, momentum. 2,000 years ago, 2,000 years later, the same thing. He said, this is a person who is really, really good in their skill, is magical in their skill. These words, if you go Google it, this Chun word, if you Google it, you can have a heaven, divine, God, spiritual. But what he say is just like, this is a high skill guy. That's it. Okay? So the reason I bring up this is, number one, we need to know what is momentum. Number two is, watch out for what you read in the Sun Tzu or the Qi Ji Guang book today. A lot of those things is the translator just probably go Google the thing and have no idea what he's talking about. Okay, and it's become misleading. And as I show you here, this is talk about spiritual here. Spiritual here. This is divine born here, and this is divine here. Well, here it already tell you in Sun Tzu chapter 13. Okay, you can only get informations from your enemy. Okay, don't tell me anything about spirit or Tao or all this kind of stuff. All this kind of stuff. Okay. Okay, this kind of stuff. So in other words, that if you take it like in Silicon Valley, engineering, high tech, then you cannot be wrong. Okay. You're dealing with technology. You don't want to dealing with religion or whatever you believe. I believe. Okay, it is a technology. Okay, not religion and New Age and all. I believe and I those kind of stuff. Okay, now again, okay. Another topic is this. When you read, this is a modern translation. People do not understand what is going on, and then they just put in whatever they think. And that's the problem. For example, here, the 8 flash flip. Okay, this is 八闪翻. 8 flash flip. Well, what is 8 flash flip? 8 flash flip, okay, this 八闪翻 is actually called 翻子拳. This is the old name in Ming Dynasty. Okay, within it have 8 type of their core techniques. Okay, however, if you put this 8 flash flip, who the hell know what it is? And also this is 12短, 12 shot, and here it translates as 12 shot strike. Well, sorry, shot and shot strike is a different story. And up to now, because this is the nomenclature of the Ming Dynasty, nobody know what is a 12 shot mean. Okay, this is a big question even for the Chinese. Okay, so you see all this kind of thing. That's why I get really frustrated when I raise something, bring out something. And somebody always go read some books right away, go Amazon or go on internet, read some book, and come back and play expert. Okay, and as we know that, if we don't know what is this momentum, and we do not careful of what is within the content, then we can go totally get into this. Okay? Get into this. And you can see that people translate so-called the internal art stuff and everything, nature, everything, get into all this kind of stuff. Okay? Well, sorry, 500 years ago in China, it never exists. 500 years ago in China, that General Qi Ji Guang, but today's a standard. If he come to Silicon Valley in California, he can be at least a director of design engineering. Okay. That is the bottom line. Okay? So the questions of authentic Chinese traditional martial art, it is scientific and and systematic technology. Okay? So I want to leave everybody with that. So whenever we think about authentic traditional Chinese martial art, don't think about this old ancient master sitting in the cave and doing the Om or Dao or Qi or Tai Chi and have this Jing or all kinds of mind power. No, you better off thinking about he is the CEO in the Silicon Valley. Okay. So he be able to handle the design, the product, to break the competitors' pattern, to take care of his manufacturing, production, testing, and deliver a good high quality product. You think about that way, it's better off than all those monk or Taoist sit in the cave stuff. Okay, which is never exist 500 years ago. So now we see what happened 500 years ago. Okay. Now, let's look into this. So since century ago, Wing Chun is well known as the Southern China variations of the sticking body short strike martial art. This is we all know since century ago. Okay. So in the movie, you can say this is the Southern sticking body short strike martial art. You go Google, you can see all these things. So there's no questions of what is Wing Chun. Wing Chun, everybody know. Okay, whether we really know or not, but at least the name sticking body short strike, Tit Sam Tuin Da or My San Tuin Da, everybody agree with it. Okay. So it's like Jackie Chan. Even you don't have to know him or watch his movie, but you heard of the name Jackie Chan is the Chinese martial art movie star. Period. Okay. So that is what it is. Wing Chun was told for a century. Now, so now the question is that. The question is, so what is this about? Okay, so let us track it via the history. So here is the technological tracking, the technology tracking of Wing Chun Keen. A Southern China variations of the sticking body short strike martial art. Okay, now we know per today, we know the short strike exists in 1560. General Qi Ji Guang time, over here. It's written over here. Okay? We know that in black and white. And we know in 1784, this is also the short strike riding. Okay? This is also the short strike riding from Shaolin. And in 1840, we know the iYikkam Shulin Tao riding. And in 1972, we know there's an article on GM Whitman's interview. Okay. So the short strike technology today, we actually can track from Qi Ji Guang to Grandmaster Yip Man. Okay, the short strike art, the short strike technology, the short strike bloodline. Okay, and I'm going to show you that here. Okay, now if we look closely, the short strike art, okay, by evidence is going through here from Qi Ji Guang to Shaolin to iYikkam to Grandmaster Yip Man. This is the path of the short strike art, okay, the DNA. However, around 1800, that is something change, which is make our Siu Lim Tao or Wing Chun Kin. Two things involved. The Mei snake mechanics and techniques involved. Okay, so it get in. And then the Fujian White Crane center line theory and techniques get in too. So on here, 1840 is a mix of the short strike with the refined of or the variations of the Mei technology and the Fujian White Crane technology. So Wing Chun here, 1840, we know per today by evidence at this state, it is a mixing of short strike, a mixing of this technology, and this technology is still a short strike art, okay? However, you import these two technology inside there, and this is what this Wing Chun Kun is about today. Okay, this is what the Siu Lim Tao, since Siu Lim Tao is our core, and it passed down. Okay, now, that is by evidence. So what is a short strike art? Now we want to look at very carefully what is a short strike art. Okay. Now based on Qi Ji Guang, you can see that from that article from his book, the short strike art, and this is the Shaolin 1784 Shaolin short strike art. This short strike art, you can see it here, and then you can see the description. Okay, and the description is here. Long come in. This is not it. Long incoming. Sorry. Long incoming, short receive, close in. This is the description, the uniqueness of the short strike art. Okay, this sentence or this writing. Okay, and within that there are three key points. Have to watch out. Short receive, close in. Okay, there are three key points here. Okay, there are three key points here. Short means the short mechanics. Receive means receive not against. Okay, close in meaning you get close to the person. That is the characteristic of the short strike art. So there's three characteristics here. Okay, close in, receive not against. Because if you're against, you will not be able to get close in. You're going to see later what happened, okay? So this is 1, 2, 3. And short strike have a short strike mechanics, okay? So what is short strike? So we know that it exists in General Qi Ji Guang 1560, and it is further clearly defined in the 1784 Shaolin book, okay? Now, note that short strike mean only short limb. It doesn't mean short strike art. Short strike art has its momentum. Okay, it's not just a limb. Okay, this is just I have a short bridge, short limb. Okay, like you bend your arm so that it's short. Okay, that's short bridge. Short strike is a type of momentum. Okay, which is I'm going to show you, because short strike have the meaning of a momentum. It's not just the bridge. Okay, now. Remember this three key point. We're going to come back later, no problem. And this is also 1784 Shaolin. Okay, now. So what is a sticking body? Okay, remember. Over here we say sticking body, short strike. Sticking body, short strike. Okay. Sticking body, short strike. This is short strike, this is sticking body. Okay, so what is that? Now, let's go here. Just now, we already investigate what is a short strike. Now, what is a sticking body? Okay, same thing in the 1784 Shaolin book writing. That is a definition of what is a sticking body. Sticking body over here is said it is paste body, okay, or pasting body. So what it means is that Define here clearly. When the enemy move, you right away get in and you use your hand or your shoulder, you stick at the opponent. Stick at the opponent body. You stick at the opponent body. You paste at his body. Okay? That's how close is it. And then over here he said, turning body to use your force. Okay, turning body to use your force. Okay, now this is the sticking body mechanics. Sticking body short strike, the sticking body mechanics. So now we know that sticking body or paste body, it means that this guy is fighting with the range of he actually use his shoulder or his hand to stick at the ribs area or the body of the opponent. That's how close it is. Okay, and the momentum here, he said that is turning and the whole body using force. Okay, now this mechanic is then further defined in the 1784 Shaolin book. It say here, okay, the mechanic operation is here. From head to feet, join, rotate, and spinning. That's what it is. Okay, so in today's word, we can look at it as a touring. Okay, and it's more than touring, but it's including touring, because join, rotate, meaning that join you can what do you call it? Use the joint accordingly. It rotate, it spin. Okay, and in today's set, those are the bottom, the soul or the core of the Chun Kyu set of Wing Chun. Okay, so from here we know clearly. Okay, we know clearly that this sticking body, it was defined in 1784, and even the mechanics is clearly defined. Okay, either you can call it sticking body or pasting, like you a plaster paste at your body. Okay, and this is the mechanic, and this is what the Chun Kyu mechanic, remember the turning horse, the turning stand, the turning body, those kind of stuff. Those are the mechanics. Okay, now, so we know the creations of Xiu Lim Tao, variations of sticking body short strike. So what happened is that we know in the 1784 you already have the short strike, and you have already have the sticking or the pasting body clearly defined here. Okay, in 1784. And now over here in the 1784 you also talk about tour. Now in the 1840 Yikkam Xiu Lim Tao Kit, we know the Mei, Shi Zhuang, and the White Crane was a signature was found here, and it turns out that the Mei snake mechanics is used for refine. The Mei snake mechanic is used for refine the joint, rotate, and spinning of the sticking paste body. Okay, of this thing. So this thing is using to further refine whatever in the 1784, and because of this refinement, and because of the way the technology of Mei, that is what we often call Wing Chun is a female art. Okay, it become because it is a very fine-tuned, it's called female art. Okay, now also here we need to know here, you see, this is a snake. So because you need to move your joints, you need to handle your joints, your joint of all your body, spinning and so forth. So you have this snake engine, snake mechanics, to have it to refine the handling of the joint handling. Okay, and this is where the snake is. Also here, Fujian crane. Okay, so when we talk about Wing Chun, is snake and crane, snake and crane. That is where it comes from. However, one must know that it is a short strike art. Knowing only snake and crane is not going to get one into the short strike art, because short strike art is a different type of momentum, which you're going to see later, okay? Now, so one need to know this is just a refinement of this short strike art to make it a Wing Chun, okay? So that is what happened by evidence we can see today, okay? And if we do this, again, this is systematic and this is scientific stuff. If we really apply that, it will improve your Wing Chun, okay? Because this is scientific, it's like a repeatable stuff, it's like a production, okay, technology. Now, so in 1972, Wing Chun King had the short strike signature. So how can we tell? Well, you go to Grandmaster Yip Man's 1972 interview. At this part of the interview, I blow it up. Here there's a term, not receive. Receive, okay? Not against. Receive. He explained to you your Tan Bong Fuk. Receive, not against. Okay? And guess what? Receive, not against, is one of the key characteristics of the short strike art. And here it talk about soft. Guess what? That related to the snakes. This is called soft stuff, or female, okay? This is from the Hermes stuff, okay? Otherwise, it will be Shaolin short strike. Shaolin sticking body short strike. It will be not Wing Chun. Wing Chun, the difference between Wing Chun and Shaolin sticking body short strike and Wing Chun, the difference between Shaolin sticking body short strike and Wing Chun sticking body short strike is that Wing Chun have this component. Okay, so that is how clear we are today. So the difference between Wing Chun and Shaolin sticking body short strike art and Wing Chun is that Wing Chun have these two components, the Hermes snake or feminine or soft component and the white crane centerline theory and some and different techniques. And Shaolin do not have that, okay? But they are still belong to the same sticking body short strike family of art. So Wing Chun is a variations of sticking body short strike art. And from here, from Grandmaster Yip Man, we know that what Grandmaster Yip Man present is accord with the sticking body short strike art. Because you have a soft here, you have the receive here with a Tan Bong Fuk. Go read this, okay? So, it's very important for this. We know very clearly what is Wing Chun, okay? Now, short strike art versus long fist. As we know here, long incoming, short receive, close in. Short strike art, close in is a must for short strike art. Okay, if it is a short strike art, it has to close in. No exception. So this is close in. This is close in. This is how close is close in. Okay. And of course, if you want to close in, your footwork will be important because you want to close in. Okay. Now, this is a long fist art. It doesn't close in. Okay, so that's the term here. You see all this place? This is called the gate. So this is this area is outside the gate. The short strike the long fist art is standing outside the gate. Okay, this is outside the gate. Outside the gate. And if you look at this, the short strike art is within the gate, is in the gate. Okay, that's why it's closed in here. And as we know by now, the mechanics of the short strike art and the mechanics of the long fist art are different. So if you use the mechanic of the short strike art, you can use it here effectively. Okay. Now up to here, then you say, oh, you know, all this theory is great, but how does it look like? Okay, let me show you this. Now we look at the Wing Chun descriptions. Does long come in, short receive, naturally close in? From 1784 Shaolin, I suggest to put it in here when we want to describe Wing Chun. This is coming, receive, go, escort. This disengage, direct, straight, rush in. This is our common, very popular quid, but that's not adequate. And there's another quid which is less popular, but it is Wing Chun quid. We need to put it down there too. So only when we put this all together, we can see what Wing Chun is. Okay? Now, why is it important? I bring it up here because I'm going to show you the Wing Chun sticking body short strike at momentum. Okay? And I'm not going to use Wing Chun. I'm going to use something else which is you don't dream of to show you that Wing Chun momentum. Because bottom line, short strike art is about momentum. It's not about tan bong fok and all this kind of stuff. Okay? And because those are called fixed shape. Okay? As we know from Sun Tzu and we know from Qi Ji Guang, in the real life fight, there's no fixed shape there. It's momentum play. Okay? So I'm going to show you this. I'm going to use a samurai sword and a spear. Okay, this is actually reconstruct of the Qi Ji Guang time to show you the short strike art and to show you how this Wing Chun descriptions apply here. So you'll be able to see clearly, okay, in momentum, disregard what kind of weapon and everything, what is a short strike art, what is a short strike momentum means. Okay, now let's look at this. Spear is longer than the Japanese samurai sword, right? So both are standing, center line versus center line. Now, the spear is attacking now. So this is called long come in. Okay? Long come in. Notice that the samurai sword is receiving him. Receiving him. He's not against him. He's receiving him. And notice that it is a short mechanic also. You see how close this his two hands with his body? It's a short mechanics. Okay? And close in. You see? After he received, he closed in. He shoot in already. Okay? So right now he is, if this is the weapon, this is the outside door, this is the inside door, he's already in. Okay? This is outside door. If this is a line, it's the outside door. No, the tip of the weapon. This is outside door, this is inside door, he's already in. Okay? So that's what close in mean. Okay? Now. So, again, long coming, short receive, close in. Long coming, short receive, close in. Now, does come, receive, go, escort is actually here. You see, he doesn't against him. He just doing this like Lao Hui song. He received him. He doesn't against him. And here it said disengage. You see, after the receive, he's disengaged. When he's disengaged, he's not tangling with the spear anymore. He directly straight rush in. Okay? This over here. Okay? So you see that. Now, one thing you need to be careful here. Even though this is say directly straight rush in, he didn't rush in right here. If he rush in right here, he's with the center line, he's dead. Okay? He didn't. He's using dodge to move forward. He received and dodged sideways. He received and dodged sideways and he entered from the sideway. Okay? He dodged in here. You see that? So he's not go like usually people say, oh, you go for the center line. No, you don't do that. That's why you need this thing. And then it said using hard and soft accordingly. This is soft. This is soft. Receive. This is for sure hard. It's going straight in. This is hard. This is soft. Okay? So I hope you see what it is. The momentum, which is the important, the soul of Wing Chun. You can use any weapon. If you use this, it is a short strike. Okay? So don't stick with the Tan Bong folk and others. I have to be this and that. That is a fixed stuff. 2,000 years ago, Sun Tzu already said that don't fix it. Your momentum, you need to play with it. The whole idea is playing momentum. General Qi Shi Guang saying the same after 2,000 years, and now 500 years after Qi Shi Guang. We need to get into the line with what is a traditional Chinese martial art and get into the soul of the Chinese martial art. Okay? And this is what I suggest to be the description of Wing Chun. Okay? Now you can see from here. Okay? So, that gives you a feeling of what is a short strike mean. And of course, you need mechanic for sticking body short strike. Okay, you need to go be here. You need to be able to play that. You need, this is from Shaolin. Okay, again, this is from Shaolin. You need abandoned shoulder. You need to handle your 7 bowls. You need to have your short power, strength generations. You need to have the torque, momentum. You need to have the mechanical advantages. Okay, all those you need mechanics. If you don't have the short mechanic. It's just like this. It's simply like this thing. It's simply like this thing. If you don't have this mechanics, and you don't have there's no way you can do anything with it. Okay? And even though we say, well, come, receive, go, escort, if you don't have the mechanics, still cannot do a thing. Okay? And all this, right? Tightly comply with the gate and the wall. Okay, the gate, you know, the gate, this is the arm is the gate, and the wall is the body, and from head to the feet, joint, rotate, and spinning. That's what it is. Okay? Now, the blockade which caused the upper part of the body unable to close in. Okay, this is closed in. Okay, this is closed in the door already. The elbow here, if you're stuck there, or no, this is the vertical type, or this is like the Tai Chi type of the Peng Jing type, all the elbows stuck there is prohibit you going to go in. prohibit you to get into the door. Okay, you can punch him. You're going to push him away. You're not going to stick to his body. That's why you cannot call this sticking body short strike. You're not sticking body. Remember, we have the definition here. Remember, we have the definition here on sticking body. Okay, so you want to stick on it. There is that's the bottom line. So over here in the upper body, if your elbow stuck that way, either in the vertical elbow or in the Tai Chi Peng Jing way, you cannot get close. Okay, and another thing is that your shoulder stick out there, you cannot get close. So when you get close, the elbow is not stuck there and the shoulder is not stuck there. You know, like this one is the shoulder stuck there. You know, if you do that right away, you know you cannot get in. You don't have the mechanics of the sticking body short strike. Okay, and over here you can punch it. Okay, the shoulder is here, the elbow is here. You know, you can punch it. The body is here, shoulder here, elbow here. You can punch it. It's just pushing this away. You can never get close to it like this. You cannot get close to it like this. Okay, so there is the blockage which causes the upper part cannot close in. Now, the lower part of body, if you do this e.g. Kamyangma type, your lower forearm cannot rotating and spinning as the Shaolin Quid of 1784. Tough luck. You cannot get in. Okay? Because all this structure stuff is going to create a pushing against it and pushing thing away. Okay? Seriously, when you have this kind of stuff, you're pushing thing away. How can that supposed to be a short strike art when short strike is already say here? Receiving. Receive, not against. Okay, this is from Grandmaster Yip, receive, not against. If you go keeping against it, how can you be short strike art? Okay, if technically we want to be really careful, that's what happened. And your lower forearm, if your lower forearm is not developed, how are we supposed to do that? And this is the basic sticking body short strike handling. Okay. So again, this arm is outer gate. This is a front gate. Oh, sorry, I missed that. So as we know that the outer gate I already explained to you. Here is outer gate. Whatever out here is outer gate. Whatever inside here is the inner gate. This is outer gate. This is inside gate. And this is the front gate. The front lead hand is the front gate, and back hand is the back gate. So I use a fighting simulator because I want to show this thing. Okay. So this one is you enter. Actually, you receive the front gate. You're using your mechanic to receive this front gate. Okay. So this is the front gate. You enter, you close in, you enter, you receive his front gate, your lead arm. This one actually you jam his back arm. So another word is that this one is actually you receive the lead arm. This is this, and this is actually jamming this arm. And once one get into this close, then one will be like a snake, can rotate left and right. Once one side is resist, you turn into the other side. So it's keeping changing left to right, like a snake with two heads. Okay, that's how you play in this close sticking body short strike. And then over here is, if you have to deal with your lower four balls, you deal it with the lower four balls, with whatever the lower four ball is, and then your arm here is attacking in the same time. Okay, so lower ball, the lower four balls handling this, and then your hand is doing the upper attack. Okay, so this is the basic play of the sticking body short strike. Okay. Now, of course, you need to have all these mechanics. If you don't have these mechanics, this is holding this entire thing. Okay, this is the Shaolin thing. All these mechanics that if you don't have that, you cannot perform. Now, so that is for the sticking body short strike. So for the Wing Chun West, we know that it is a 2017 platform. It's a systematic and scientific technology. It's based all whatever the core is in this book. This is for the 613.3. This is a sticking body short strike, where you can see I have used many of the thing here. For example, the mechanics here, and many things here. I have used it. I have used in these presentations. Okay, on say for example the momentum, long fist short strike. Okay, and the energy, which is we need to use a Yellow Emperor Classic, and again the force handling. So the 6 core element all is in this book. Okay, and the sticking body short strike, as you can see, I have used this in the presentations. It's all in this book. Now, finally, this is the rule of Shaolin. Sticking body short strike is from the Shaolin art. So this is the rule. This is a very good practice. So, you know, practice martial art is one thing, but don't need to cause oneself into trouble. Okay, and don't give a negative effect to the community, to the family, to the country. Okay, because that needs some kind of a code of conduct. Okay, and this is the Shaolin way. And even though in the Wing Chun West we say that, oh yeah, you know, systematic and scientific technology, we are human. We still need to follow this. Okay, otherwise we are really screw people up, screw ourselves up. And even though, you know, as we can see here, now Wing Chun West is, you have this Da Vinci, you have this Chinese drawing of Qi and so forth, anatomy, you have this impulse, momentum, you have this Tai Chi. All right now is fusing together. There's Wing Chun West 2017, and still we need to follow the rule because we are human. Okay, so this is to share with you today. And I hope that it's a long video, and you probably need to go back a few times to check out all the details. I want to do it this way so that everybody can know what's going on and what I'm talking about. Thank you. Bye bye.